Hi, everybody. Welcome to the commentary for Active Radioactive Radio Episode 2.
Hi.
I am your co-creator, co-writer, co-director, executive producer, Jeffrey Bridges.
And I am Susan Bridges, also those things.
All of those things.
Yes.
And
Every single
more.
one of them. Haha.
So, you may have noticed that for this episode and for episode 3, we cut down the opening a bit.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't do the full one that we had in the pilot, so we thought you've seen it all before, so you don't need to see the full thing, and it saves a bit of time, because they gives you a little more time maybe later.
Right. And we were thinking, maybe it's a little much right now.
Both your favorite host and mine is back for another episode of
So you'll notice, now that we're in episode 2 past the pilot, several of the cast have had set changes.
Well,
their recording
yes.
conditions slightly changed, or they're in a different spot, so it looks different, but that's okay, because the characters move around within Lefton as well, so this is just a different spot in Johnny's bunker.
Right, and Johnny's bunker is filled with amazing things, like multiple camera locations.
Oh, yes.
So,
He can move his camera just like the rest of us,
it
right?
works just fine.
So, yeah, exactly.
Right. See, the thing is, it's Lotus.
If you notice, in some of the scenes, you can see a little red light flashing in the reflection of Jack's glasses from his camera to show that it's recording, but
Much like the recipe.
Johnny has a camera that's recording, so it kind of works. It makes it more authentic,
Cat food.
Or that's what we tell ourselves.
Right. That bit there, the noise,
I can't
totally just what happened in that take. We didn't add anything to
And
it,
it was a good noise.
right? It was so great, so we just left it. We didn't have our, audio mixer, Anna Rodriguez, do any goosing or, extra sound effects. That was just natural.
Yep.
If you're looking for answers, I can't think of a more... Gustav.
This is the premiere of Gustav,
It is?
Lotus's manservant, yes.
Oh, man.
Bescarved manservant.
Yes.
And a curse upon my family.
How am I supposed to flaunt our copious amounts of...
Can we got to talk about the lamp.
We should definitely talk about the lamp.
The lamp was on Lotus's desk in episode 1, and it was supposed to be on. But they forgot to turn it on, so it was off through all of that. So we wrote it into the script.
Right.
You have seeded deep into his all too human
Little Johnny's voice is wonderful. That is
Yes.
Jack.
message at the beep.
And I saw the little red light on
Yeah.
little Johnny.
That's fine.
So anyway, we wrote right into the script about the lamp, and then here's the funny thing.
I don't owe you
Later in their scenes, in this episode,
my superior,
the lamp's
you know.
off again. They forgot.
That I possess
But
and me.
you don't know, because we did a little editing trickery and cut out the on lamp from the earlier bit and sort of pasted it over the off lamp later, and so it looks like it's on the whole time.
So we're very professional here.
Oh, yes.
For me.
How great was that? Right on the snap, and it's
I
wonderful.
know.
I love Gustav. He's quickly becoming
She clearly
very
has
dear to me.
superior
I mean, he was a wonderful addition.
Yes.
Gustav. I do like the scarf, though. Oh, looks like Remmick's calling.
Johnny, I think your fear might be getting the better of you.
You'll notice now, in the pilot and in the audio drama season that preceded this, Remmick always came
One of those out in the
kind of
wild
towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
Here, she's early. We changed up the order things for story reasons.
Or maybe not.
Well, it's only the second one.
All of us are afraid
Or
of
did you saying Remmick came at the end of the podcast, too?
Of the audio drama, yes. Most of them, she was always at the end of the episodes.
I did not realize that.
Uh-huh.
Or,
The check-in with Remmick, and she's talking about Dexter, would come later.
Mhm.
So
I think. And most of us weren't born into luxury. Some of us have to use whatever we can find out snaking. And while we're out there, we think of all the ways we're going to get revenge when we find out that you're responsible for the death of our good
Okay, she's
pets.
frightening.
So
Mm.
this animal is coming for you. Animal. I'm a tough and strong wolf, and I'm going to figure out something.
those are wolves, right?
You wait. and
Totally
see.
wolves.
These are wolves, right?
So yes, for any of you who may have missed Dexter that she's talking about, as we mentioned, was a big part of the audio drama season. So you can go back and
so
check that out.
if you missed that, oh my god, you should go back.
Fairly evident.
ActiveRadioactiveRadio.com.
Because some scary person and a robust fella in a scarf tell me to. Johnny's awash in conflict, my baby.
Johnny's got a lot of feelings. He's going through some changes.
And when that happens,
What's happening?
One thing can
Johnny is
Pretentious blues.
wonderful.
That's right.
Of course he is.
Sexy tunes. Here's Katie Baker with I Won't Sleep.
I feel like Johnny has a lot in common with our combined psyche.
You think?
Yes. Lots of bravado, afraid of a lot of things.
Which one of us has bravado?
Me.
Okay.
What, you're saying I don't have bravado?
I'm not saying that. I would never say such a thing. So here's our second video
Yes.
from Katie Baker. It's a very fun song. I was dancing. That's why the pause. Sorry. I was dancing in my seat.
But the way it comes across, it's like, it's a fun song.
No, I didn't like that at all. She's
that's-
wonderful.
It's just more like, we don't know how to say words to say that this is a good song.
It's a great song. And here's the fun thing. When we contacted her to ask about using the song of the episode, we provided the link to the pilot so she could see it. And she checked it out. And one, she totally loved the show. And she thought Johnny was amazing and hilarious. And the cat food things she said totally grossed her out and made her crack up. She loved it. And the other thing was that she had never heard of Barbara Lika, who was in the first one. And she's like, I love her. Now I'm a giant fan. Look at that. We're making fans among different musicians.
That's crazy.
That's what we're here for.
I feel like it was a little easier this time around, though, because, like...
We had a video to show them.
Right, when we made the first one, we're like, you have to kind of take our word for it. That
Well, we
just...
linked them to the audio drama
Yeah,
version, but it's not quite the
It's
same.
not the
Yeah.
same.
It's definitely easier once you get past the first one.
Right, to be like, this is what we want to do. This is the thing. I know we're not going to make fun of you or your music.
That's
you know,
right.
That's really important.
Notice she's driving on the right side of the car because she's Australian.
Mm.
How about that?
And, you know, you don't hear it. I don't hear Australian in the song.
It's an interesting thing when a lot of people sing, accents sort of change from their speaking voices.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you hear it.
Sometimes.
But in this, nah. Now everyone's like, I'm going to listen really hard now to see if she's Australian. I want to hear it.
She is Australian, but you won't hear it in the
Yeah, it
scene.
doesn't, yeah.
No. See, that's when you know the songs are good, is that we've heard them 1,000 times editing the episode together, and I'm still like, this is a nice song. I really like it. I'm dancing in my seat. So, it's good.
I know, I made a good choice.
Okay. There's that bravado, right?
He brings all the songs to me.
We covered this last time.
And then I say no.
I find
to most of
options,
them.
and I'm like, how about this one? How about this one? How about this one?
I say a lot of no.
There's a lot of no going around.
But this one made it past.
Obviously, it's in the episode.
I'm a jerk. You know, and a lot of, it's not just the song itself I look at. Also, I'm like, is this too long for the episode?
Length is an issue.
Yeah.
And we also want it to sort of tie in
That's
to
the other thing.
the story or
they
Johnny's
actually
journey.
tie in to Johnny's journey.
Or his feelings in that episode, or what's going on with
Right.
him in his life. They're not just random.
Right. So that's a lot of different factors that
Yeah.
the song has to fit. And then it has to make it past me.
And it has to not be too long, and we have to get permission to use it. And
I
so.
love that. Man,
well, thank you.
I love it.
Stop by and give her a follow and buy some of her albums, huh?
Yeah, do that.
Do it.
You're all out there, but I'm in here. But I can't be out there. because
Johnny's
I
coming to
need
some
you.
kind of a realization.
Mm-hmm.
And then what? I'm not supposed
Character
to sleep
development?
until I know
What?
who I am? I have
What is
no
that
idea.
about? This is just a goofy
I really
comedy.
actually
Who
love
are
this
any of us,
episode,
really?
and
I'm supposed to just
like
I
now
would
that
hope.
figure it
every
out
time I watch it,
somehow.
everything Johnny says
How?
makes me think.
Oh.
Isn't that funny?
These were all Jack's doing. We just asked him for...
Do you
This was an ad lib, but it was so great we had to put it
It
in.
was a very good ad lib.
But yeah, we just asked him to stare off into the middle distance
Mm-hmm.
and give us a bunch of Johnny lost in thought, conflicted,
The
you know.
choice voice playing all the sexy noise.
This scene here, very interesting.
Be.
he forgot to record it when he did his recordings. And
He
so
did?
if you notice, that's why there's such a close-up on him there. But if you notice at the very bottom, you might see a hint of his undershirt, which is white in that scene, which is why we cropped it so close. And here it's gray on the rest. So, yeah. I mean, he's like over 50% of the scripts. So it was very easy for him to accidentally miss a tiny, small scene.
Yeah, but I'm like, Jack, you're a theater dude. You should know this stuff, right?
Oh, Jack, we love you.
I mean, Jack's not the only theater dude. Here's a theater dude, Janice.
I just noticed Janice is wearing 2 different socks, and it's wonderful.
I did not notice that.
I don't know if there's another view that's pulled farther back, you'll be able to see it. But if not, go back. When she first appears, you can tell she's got 2 different socks on. Socks are a thing with her, you know. Again, we've mentioned... I don't know if we mentioned, because this is maybe new to episode 2. I think, yeah, the sock garland.
Right, she changed her location a little.
Right, her set changed. She put the garland of socks tied together,
Yes.
hanging from the ceiling. It's so great. And she said her daughters helped her make that.
Yes.
So it's delightful. Not Janice's daughters, Darian. Janice
Yes.
has no children.
Going out of the bunker?
Okay.
Johnny?
One of her pant legs is tucked into the
I see
socks.
that.
I never noticed that.
I did
Wonderful.
not notice that before
What I
either.
wouldn't give to live in a Joe-proof bunker.
So see, you should watch this multiple times. You're going to get something out of it.
That's right.
Every
You'll
time.
learn something new every time.
Yes, Mom, I know.
Now, I want to say here, this was something we didn't get to have in the pilot episode, but if you notice, Oksana's voice sounds very much like she's actually just off screen talking to Kat. And Kat recorded it, because Kat plays Katryna and Oksana. Really good audio quality with her mic. And if you noticed in the first episode, Oksana sounds not quite matched up right, because we didn't have time for Anna to go through it and work her audio magic to make them sound like they were really in the same room. But here, she did, and it's like they're so perfectly matched. I don't know how she did it. It's crazy.
Then again, we're talking
Anna's amazing.
a little bit.
She's a wizard.
But at least they're not Joe level? Whoa. Don't talk about Joe like that. You talk about Joe like that. Maybe I do, and maybe I shouldn't. He's
More realizations? What?
unique.
What?
His heart's in the right place. And
Okay, this episode is so good.
trying to help.
Just pat yourself on the back
Look,
all
I'm
the
just
way
saying,
through.
I'm really enjoying the performances of the actors.
Because our cast is wonderful. They're all so great.
I know, and her cat T-shirt.
With the fireworks?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I've shut myself off from all human contact, so as not to have to deal with any more heartbreak. Or who among us
There she goes.
felt the sting of love? Oh, put a sock in it, okay? And not just any sock.
Those Janice speeches, no one ever lets her get out.
Think I don't know that you stole it? Or I will burn your restaurant to the ground. And you and
Her body language is so fabulous here.
Yes.
swim in the ashes.
And so this was a way that we found to connect our scenes together a little better with our actors being so disparate across the country.
Yes.
But the props could be mailed.
Yes.
And so the chain sock, the actual sock, not the chain, because people provided their own chain, was mailed over to Zeke. So he would have it.
And the hat too, right?
What?
Katryna's hat.
Well, that's the next episode.
Oh, whoops.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
Ah, dang. Spoilers.
That I paint a picture, don't I? Yeah, that was another ad lib of his.
Sleep sit, so if
So.
you know what's good for you, you'll give it back. Immediately.
No can do, compadre.
There it is, the very same sock.
That Katryna lady pays
The sniff was all Zeke, but we didn't tell him to sniff the sock.
pays us otherwise until she pays us to do otherwise with it. Until we're otherwise more with it than we are now.
That will never happen for the Ravagers.
And even Ravager Teddy thinks that you are
Ravager Teddy, who we put in the script this time because he's so wonderful.
Yes, Ravager Teddy was an addition.
I think we mentioned that in the
was
last
not
commentary.
Something that we
Right.
wrote.
Philip just had it, and
Yes.
we were like, that is so great.
You can play at the make friends with questionable wasteland denizens game too.
When you talk like that, it's like you're arm wrestling my brain, and my brain's losing because it doesn't have any arms. Right. So,
That reaction was all Darian's too. We just had, that she was going to give him a weird look, but the little bends, they just cracked us up. So.
And before you even got back to
and this was another prop that was sent across. Of course, this is the Zoom Along bottle.
I was going to mention it, but then I waited.
That Philip had created for the pilot.
And then lost.
Well, it was just an empty bottle he didn't know he'd need again, so he made another one. And then sent it on.
We were like, man.
Anna did a lot of audio sound effects work in that when he's digging around, which was great. Although I think that thing falling at the end was just legitimately him knocking something over.
Yes, I think so.
It's a mixture of the both.
Why were we born into this cruel, cruel world? Who would have thought that living a life in a post-apocalypse would be totally not normal?
Who would have thought? Now, Melissa is a trooper here because Susan had this wonderful idea that one of her eyes should go really wonky from the zoom along.
Yes.
And so we found special contact lenses that made it look like your pupils were huge.
Mm-hmm.
And Melissa's never worn contacts, and she was game for it anyway. She said, I'll try it. She did it. She said it hurt like hell, but she did it. Look at that. It's amazing. So thank you so much for putting up with that, Melissa, because boy, did it. And it's so subtle. It
looks great.
Because nobody calls attention to it. I don't know if maybe you didn't even notice it before, but look at it now. She is clearly off her rocker now from the zoom along. So. And this bit where she slides down and her helmet scrapes and falls, again, that was just actually the sound from her recording. Yeah, that was all just natural.
Beautiful.
It was so perfect.
It was.
The comedic timing on it is mwah, chef kiss.
Again.
Knock it off up there.
Now, Kat here is just banging her rolling pin on nothing. There's nothing up there. That was Anna's work again, making it sound like she was thumping the ceiling. Wonderful.
And now, maybe it's clear why I stay oh so safe and secure in my bunker, yeah? But
because they're crazy people out there, Johnny. That's why.
The world does enough of that on its own. So let's shake off the dust and dust off the shakes with Winnie and Bobby Johnson.
Okay, so this is from the same...
I know, we keep saying this.
It's from the same movie that we got the clip from the first episode from, and it's just... Are they siblings? Are they married? I don't know. Well, later, she does this thing with her butt where he's like, oh, I shouldn't look. So is that like... Again, you don't know what...
They're probably siblings.
I don't know. But then that makes the butt thing really weird. The dances, I mean, the poses, and I'm just... It's tap dancing, okay, but the poses are so odd.
Yes.
Like, that? What? I don't know, but we love it. It's great. This video is like one of the best things that was ever created in the history of human art, and no one knows about it, so... Glad to bring it back. See, there we go. See, he's like, whoa, I can't look at... Oh. I don't know. Their actual dance in the original video goes on a bit longer. We put a cut in the middle. Shorten it up a bit.
Hi, Johnny. Hello.
Love that. What a delivery.
Listener contributions anyway. Mail service, Pony Express, email.
Again, this was a submitted question. This one from somebody who got it through the Kickstarter as one of the reward tiers.
It was a reward.
Submit a question to Johnny. So.
Well, Hannah, our world may be filled with death and horrors roaming the night as they seek a feeble, lone person to rob of their lives in an orgy of gore as they feast upon human flesh. But it's also full of wonders. Yes, that's right.
He struggled with that line for good reason.
that was a tough one.
That one's a mouthful.
We're a little sorry about that one.
We're sorry for most of the lines we give him because Johnny is verbose.
He is.
His lines are pretty long.
But the bigger question is, how did Remmick and Janice and Katryna and the...
So we're just calling it right out here now. How did everybody find these working cameras and be able to... Who else?
And the bigger question
They just did.
How did Lotus get such a nice camera? And a place with lights, and clean water, and bescarved manservants?
That notebook is an important prop, of course, if you have seen through the third episode. So, now, since they were filming episodes 2 and 3 at the same time, we actually bought 2 of those notebooks so that we could send one to Jessie for Remmick to have in episode 3 while this was being shot at the same time.
Yes.
And Ashley wrote all kinds of really funny things in there, like F Johnny Franks and all kinds of little stuff when she was recording. So
Whoa.
It's wonderful.
And that is because I myself do not know the answer. But even when the answers aren't readily available, Johnny's always here to serve. And remember, my babies, if you'd like Johnny to serve,
He's got to get a little bit
or not
flirty because otherwise he's not Johnny.
On the Twitters at Mountaintop Stud or email host@activeradioactiveradio.com.
Those are all still active, by the way. If you want to submit questions for any future episodes we may do, go right ahead.
Do it.
At any time.
Because
we'll save them.
Much like yours truly is dead sexy. Yeah. Until next time.
We didn't tell him to do that thing with his teeth and the that was all him. But it was great. So, but even Johnny knows consent is sexy. So
that's right.
We just called for a big villain laugh here, and it was great. She just leaned into it, and there's all of these
robot parts
we bought. They're just, you can see like pipes and things from the hardware store, and
we had a really good time shopping for those.
Yes, we walked around and just bought all kinds of little stuff.
How much would this hurt if we threw it at someone? And also, does it look like a robot part?
Yeah.
And like, I think we got some other stuff that didn't make it on camera.
Yes, there was a couple of other things that Jason, who plays Gustav, was the one throwing them at her. Yeah. He was afraid they might have hurt her with a slight sharp edge we might not have noticed. So a few of the things he left out, wisely. I mean, we were trying to be sure no one would get hurt by these, but our intention was not for anyone to become injured.
Obviously not.
Of course not. So, also I wanted to mention when the robot explodes, all that sound work, of course, was the result of Anna Rodriguez working more of her audio wizardry, so...
Yes.
We really benefited by being able to bring her on for episodes 2 and 3. And here you saw the list, or maybe it's still coming up. I don't know where we are in the credits. I was looking away from the screen for the moment. But all of you Kickstarter backers who made this possible, you're listed in there. So that's awesome. Wait, are you coming up now? There you are. All of you wonderful people. We love you all.
We are very appreciative.
Very. There would be no episodes 2 and 3 without you people. So you're awesome. You people.
You are amazing.
You denizens of Lefton.
That's right. All of you are denizens. Honorary denizens.
That's right. Now we're dancing again.
Yep. Still a great song.
Still hard to believe it wasn't written specifically for this show.
I know, right? We were like praying that this would be, they would say yes.
We covered that in the last commentary, I think. But
you can hear it again.
It was the most serendipitous find, perhaps, of our long producing career. One day, when the robots take over, they will see that and they will come for us. When the real robots
already
take
planning
over.
it.
Yeah, they're going to see that. That'll be the evidence on our trial before they execute us. Her cries are amazing.
That's my favorite.
Yep, I love it. Okay, we're done. Thank you all so much.
Thank you
for helping make this show happen.
Woo!
And we will be back with the commentary for episode 3 in the future.
Woo! Future!